everybody and welcome to my YouTube channel. So as you can see by the title, today I'm going to be doing a brow tutorial. I get asked to do this quite a lot. I think because people see my brows and my face without any makeup on, and then they see my brows with product and it's quite a big difference. So I think that's why I get so many requests to do it. I don't by any way think I'm like a master of brows, but I've got my way of doing it, and I'm, usually really happy with how my brows look. So hopefully this will be quite an in-depth video, so it'll probably be a little bit long because I'm going to really try and explain what I'm doing and really show what I'm doing rather than just kind of skip through things and speed it up so that you can't really see what I'm doing. Also, after I filmed my brow tutorial, I went on and filmed this makeup look that I'm wearing right now. So if this is something that you like and it's up already, then I'll link it up here, and if not, then just do subscribe, turn your notifications on if you want. I don't ever have notifications on, but turn your notifications on if you want, and then you'll know when this makeup look goes live. But yeah, if you want to see how I do my brows on a daily basis, and I do use quite a few products, but I give good alternatives, cheaper alternatives, and also high-end alternatives throughout the video, then please do just keep on watching. So this is my right brow. This brow is my bad brow. This is the one that doesn't play ball. I'm looking a bit red around it because I just plucked some hairs out of it. Yeah, my left brow is the brow that you would take home to meet your parents. This is the rebellious sister. So we're going to try and make this brow into a nice, big, full, kind of Instagrammy brow, because that is the style I do. So the first thing that I do is I pluck any unwanted hairs out of my brow. Where this red mark is just here is where I plucked one, so I'm not wanting brow hairs down here. The tail of this brow is kind of refusing to grow in. We all make mistakes with our brows. So once you've defuzzed your brow, you're going to want to get a pencil. I prefer pencils to start off with because I find it really easy to then map out the shape of my brow quite lightly with a pencil, and then I'm going to fill it in with other products as we go along. Also, I have no makeup on for this tutorial because I always start my brows first. I will carve them with concealer, but yeah, I always start with a bare face doing my brows. So like I said, my first step is to take a brow pencil. I love a lot of different pencils. I love the NYX one. I love the Maybelline one. I like the new Revolution Pro pencil, but my favourite one has got to be the ABH Brow Wiz, which looks like this. These are more expensive. These are around £22 or so. I think the price is always going up. I just think it's a very, very good quality pencil, and I enjoy using it. And also, because I only use it to map out the shape of my brows, I get a long use out of it because I'm not using it heavy and filling in. So I'm going to take my Brow Wiz. I'm actually using the shade Granite, which is a bit too dark for my hair, but I'm using it lightly. And I'm first going to take the spoolie side, and I'm just going to brush up my hairs and kind of drag them out. And then I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to look at my other brow. I've started penciling in this one already. So I'm going to look at my other brow, and I'm going to try and take this point across and mark where I think this brow should start. I know there's the whole, match it up with your nose, the top corner with like the point of your nose and outwards. I don't do that on a daily basis. I find that quite a lot of effort, to be honest. I just do it by sight. So I'm finding like the point of this brow, and I think this brow should start here, which is actually probably quite close to in line with my nose anyway. And what I'm going to do is very lightly start dragging this line up to like the highest point of my brow here. When I say lightly, I'm holding the Brow Wiz almost at the very end because I don't want it transferring a lot of colour. I just want an outline. And then I'll just drag that straight in. Like that. So I've now got this straight line well, pretty straight line, up to almost the highest point of my brow. Now I'm also going to look at my other brow and see kind of which direction my tail's going in. I feel like it's going quite downwards, so I need to match that on this side as much as possible. So I'm just looking at my other brow. And I'm starting to draw very lightly because we're just outlining. So now I'm going to work on the top line of my brow. So you can probably see that even when I brush my hairs, it's very thin here and then all the way towards the now new end of my brow. So I'm going to grab my pencil again and I'm going to just, where the thickest part of my brow hair is there, I'm going to start drawing my line up. I do have some hairs up there, they're just very light and very sparse. And as well at this point, don't be afraid to make mistakes because we don't have our base on and we can use concealer to carve out the perfect shape. So if I make a like squiggly line, it doesn't bother me because I can just correct that with concealer. So I'm just drawing up and then I'm going to start to curve it and meet the bottom point of my brow. So that is my brow shape now kind of mapped out. I'm pretty happy with it. I think it matches my other one quite well. So that is how both of them look. I am going to just use my brows to just fill in a little bit, just to give more of a shading behind the pomade that I'm about to go in with. So I'm just going to really lightly fill in that area. See, just a little bit, and also just down at the front where it's a little bit more sparse. Maybe even drag it up a little bit. My next step with my brows is a pomade, and I use the ABH Dip Brow Pomade. I use the shade Dark Brown, which is maybe slightly darker than I actually need, but I prefer this to medium brown, which I think is the next one down. So yeah, I use dark brown. I also really like Benefit Ka-Brow. I have that one. I really like the Collection one actually, and obviously the Freedom one, which is now discontinued, so the Makeup Revolution one is pretty much the same thing. They're all really nice brow gels, so a really good range of prices. I just always pick up my ABH unless I'm doing like a full face drugstore where I'll happily use my Makeup Revolution one. And my tip is to use an incredibly sharp brow brush. Now, I have never found one as good as the Makeup Geek dual-ended brow brush. This brush is super, super skinny, and when you put product on it, it gets even skinnier because all the hairs, you know, cling together. This is my favorite brow brush in the history of the world. ABH also do really good brow brushes. I like this 7B, and I think this one's the 14, although it's rubbed off. And these are really good quality brow brushes as well. This 14 is on this side, or the 12. I'll link it down below, and this one is the 7B on the left. So I've gone ahead and pretty much finished off my lovely, friendly, happy left brow. So this is what we're going to do on this side. I know, it's quite a difference. So first thing, I'm going to take my Makeup Geek brush, and I'm going to take my Dip Brow Pomade, and I'm going to put the product on the brush. But I really don't want a lot of product on the brush, because if you go in with a heavy hand with pomade, it can look terrible and really blocky. So I'm dipping in, but I'm wiping off as much as I can on the side of the glass, what is this, container, so that I don't have much product on my brush at all. And now I want to start creating hair-like strokes in my brow. Now the main sparse area is this kind of top arch and then the tail, and that's where I focus on first. So I'll just give it another brush just for fun. And now I'm taking my brush and I'm going to start doing hair-like strokes. So I've just done the strokes from the top of where I've done that arch and just dragged them downwards. And I'm going to continue to do brow-like strokes just all the way through the ends of my brow. But I am being very gentle because I'm not wanting to deposit a huge amount of product. Now if I brush it, you can see it just looks more like hair. I'm not claiming that I'm going to do the most natural brow. This is quite a bold brow, just the style that I do. So I've got more product on my brush and I'm going to start doing the same thing just in this area of my brow. So just from the bottom line and just drag up the hair-like strokes. And I like to work my way this way as opposed to from the start, because I want the start to be the kind of lightest part of the brow. Oh, see, that was too hard. And you see how it's really starting to take shape and look more like a full brow? Then just with what's left on my brush, I'm going to start outlining a bit more because I like my brow to be pretty defined and pretty dark. I think the front of the brow is probably the hardest part because you just have to be more careful not to put on too much product. We're going to start popping on hair-like strokes at the front, but we're going to put them directly upwards. You see how these hairs are kind of going more off to the side? These ones are being dragged backwards and then these ones are going out towards my temple. This one I want to aim straight upwards. And also I'm using like the very tip of the brush, so like the pointiest part. I'm not really using the whole length of the brush, I'm focusing just on the very like pointiest part and using that against my skin. So I'm just going to start drawing the hairs directly upwards. And even when I get to the very front, I might even take them more inwards as opposed to straight up. So I've got something that looks like this. I'm not happy with this top line. I feel like it's a little bit too wobbly. I'm just gently going in with my pomade. Just to tidy that up a bit. So I'm pretty happy with that. The next thing I want to do is set it all in place. This next step is purely optional. I just do it because it makes me feel better. I'm taking my ABH Duo Brow Powder in dark brown, which looks like this, and I'm taking the dark brown side of the powder. And I'm just going to fill in the tail of my brow a little bit more. Just so that that's the deepest part of my brow, and a little bit just up on the arch. Just so that it's really contrasting with the front of my brow, which looks more natural. Moving into brow gels, there are different ones. There's clear brow gel, so that's going to add kind of no tint to your brow at all, and it's just going to hold them in place. Or you've got tinted brow gels. I like both. So first of all, I'll go in with a tinted brow gel, and then I'll go in with a clear brow gel, just to make sure everything's like doubly held in place. So a few of my favorite tinted brow gels are the Benefit Gimme Brow, or Gimme Brow Plus as it's now known as since they reformulated it. I love the ABH tinted brow gel. My favorite drugstore brow gels are the L'Oreal Brow Artist Plumper. I've got the light one and then the darker one. I also love my Ico brow gel. I'm going to use this one today. And then for clear brow gels, I love the ABH clear brow gel and also Benefit Ready Set Brow. Like I said though, everything will be linked down below. So first of all, I'm going to go in with my Gimme Brow. This is in shade 3, and I'm just going to go through my brows. And just brush the hairs up and then brush them like more sideways and towards my temple. So that's a tinted brow gel. That's just going to add a bit of tint to my brows, but when you're kind of moving around and the sun hits your brow or in different lighting, it really emphasizes each actual hair that you have on your brow. So it makes it look more natural in certain lights because it's catching the light on hairs as opposed to like just the block that we've had to draw on our skin. Then I'm going to go in with my Ico brow gel. This is just like hairspray with a little bit of tint, and it is probably my favorite one that I have, and I'm just going to brush that through my brows. So upwards and then more sideways towards my temple. I also find that when you apply your brow gel, it's when you kind of start to notice any sparse areas. So we can go back in and fix that, but I'll try and just brush over them. That's what I usually do. Just brushing this on in the direction that I want my hairs to sit. So go upwards towards the front of the brow, and then more kind of sideways towards the end of the brow. So now the only thing left to do is carve out your brows if you need to. I feel like I've been pretty neat and I don't need to carve out my brow because I actually think I've done a pretty good job. But when it comes to things like doing your eyeshadow base, just be really careful. Use a nice flat concealer brush and just be really careful along the lines that you've done, just so you're not disturbing your brow too much. And that then is my finished brow. So I'll try and put in like a half and half of my old brow, my natural brow, and then this brow. If I can work that out on the software, or I'll put in a picture so you can see the difference between the brow now and the brow as it was. And then these are both of my brows together. So hopefully you can see they're pretty similar. I mean, as symmetrical as I'm gonna get them, and a lot thicker and fuller than they were before. So that is my finished brows, zoomed out with the rest of my makeup done. Like I said, I have filmed this, so keep an eye out if you do like this makeup look. I'm really happy with my brows today. I do have days where I hate how my brows come out, and today is a good day, thankfully, for brows since I decided to film it. But yeah, please let me know if you found this video informative, if you found it helpful. If you didn't, tell me why, because I only ever want to improve and bring content that you actually want to see and that you find helpful. I really do appreciate constructive criticism. I do not appreciate just nasty, stupid comments. Obviously nobody does. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. Like I said, please do subscribe. It means the world to me when I get new subscribers, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.